Today I have the Jeep Gladiator, and after spending a week with it, I've got some things that I like and some things that I don't like, mostly positive, but let's jump into it. Real quick before I get started, this is not a full review. This is just some nitpicks, some pros, some cons, just some things from my opinion. But if you want to see the full review, look in the description below, and I also have a review of the regular Jeep Wrangler as well. Let's get going. Now, starting with my dislikes, in no particular order, nothing big, but one thing here is as we hop inside, it's that the interior can feel pretty darn cramped. Now, if you've been in a regular Wrangler before, you'll know that, but the exterior dimensions of the Gladiator and of all these Jeeps don't tell the full story, because I mean, the width has to take into account this. The whole cab is much more shrunken down. The exterior dimensions in terms of length take up this huge bumper. So I mean, the actual interior of the vehicle is a lot smaller. And the back seat is fine. I'm talking about in the front, but I mean the space between the door panel and the center console is not much. If you like to have your legs spread a little more comfortable, you're gonna wish you had some more space. Now, it's not a big deal, but if you're a big person, you got some big legs and a big trunk, you're probably gonna be a little uncomfortable in here. Now, my next dislike has to do with the price, and I don't usually talk about the price because it's so different in every market. But now, this, for 2022, starts over $37,000 for the base model. The base model, that's crazy. I mean, if you look at other mid-sized trucks, granted, this is a different type of mid-sized truck, and it's not apples to apples with the rest of those. But still, starting at $37,000 for this with destination, that's just crazy. And to top it off, this Texas Trail model right here is over $50,000, and it's not even close to the top trim. Now, my next dislike is kind of mixed feelings about it. First of all, this is the Texas Trail Edition. This came out for 2021, and I believe it can only be had in Texas. And there's just so many sub trims. This is actually based off of the base sport model, but there's so many trims and sub trims off of the regular trim levels that it just gets downright confusing, and features can be kind of wonky and confusing. For example, this particular model is $51,000, and it doesn't even have heated seats. You know, not something most of these buyers are probably looking for, but still, you might get a $51,000 truck and you'd be thinking you got heated seats, but you don't. The features and trims are just kind of confusing. You really got to customize it if you want to get it the way you want. Now, my next dislike is not, don't hate me for this. I'm not complaining about it just for the sake of complaining about it. I want you to know, in case you come from any other mid-sized truck, most of those are actually fairly quiet. Obviously, when you get into the Gladiator, you have movable doors, you've got removable roof panels, you're gonna have more air coming through, you're gonna have more road noise, but there's a lot of wind noise in here, a lot of overall road noise, and it can be kind of unpleasant if you're at high speeds for a while. So if you drive this on the highway or interstate or anything like that, be prepared for a lot of wind noise. And this is just compared to other mid-sized trucks. I know that's not why you're buying this, and I know that's expected with the modular platform here, but something to keep in mind. It's going to be pretty darn loud if you have the roof on. Even with a headliner here, we have this actual headliner to help with that, and it's still pretty darn loud in here. So just keep that in mind. Don't hate me too much for it. I just want you to know. Now, my first like, in no particular order, is going to be in here. Kind of. It's the whole lifestyle that you get with Jeep. We've got different roof options. You've got different door options, and they can all be removed. First of all, with this one roof panel, we've got a 3 split roof panel. Passenger here, and then one in the back, but it's really easy to take it off. I mean, you've just got a few different levers, boom, and then you can see the little pin right there. Watch. It's out, and it comes off super easy. It goes back on super easy. It's really lightweight. There's even a bag that comes with it, and to take the doors off, you've got a toolkit that comes with it standard. So you can have doors off, roof off, or if you want, you can get different kind of doors that are like half doors. They're called dual doors, to where you can have it split, but that is really cool. The fact that you have the Jeep lifestyle in a truck. Now, for another like, I know I complained about the front seat cramping, and it's not bad for me, but for some people it will be. But the back seat is another story. It's actually pretty darn spacious, but aside from the space, check this out. Under here, you've got under seat storage. You've got a 60-40 split with underfloor storage. The Ford Ranger only has a full 100% folding seat. That's it. This has a split folding seat, and you can even fold the back down to make it a nice flat area here and even have space for storage back here. Plus there's a cargo net. If you're going off-road, you need some extra stuff with you, some tools, whatever, you've got plenty of space for it, and you can hide it, and you can even get it optional so you can lock it. Have the seat down, you can lock it, you can lock the seats in place, which is just fantastic. Now my next like is that there's actually 3 different 4-wheel drive systems available on this Gladiator. The base model is going to give you Command Track, which is just your traditional part-time 4-wheel drive. Some other trims will give you a Select Track system that can give you a full-time 4-wheel drive available, which is like a 4-wheel drive automatic, which can be great for different on and off slippery situations. And then the top one is the Rock Track. The Rubicon is going to give you the best 4-wheel drive system for crawling. You've got lower gear ratios, excellent crawling capability. So I love that there's 3 different 4-wheel drive systems available with the Gladiator. Now my next like is the actual off-road and adventure capability. First of all, you're going to get Dana branded front and rear axles, and even upgraded axles if you want, skid plates where you need them underneath, and even up to 11.5 inches of ground clearance and 10 inches even on some lower trims. That's fantastic. Of course, you can get optional rock sliders. So overall, you're set and you're good to go off-road in this Gladiator, whether you option up or not. Now my next like is going to be under the hood. There's 3 things with this, and the first is that it has a naturally aspirated engine. That's something that Ford can't say. That's something that's going away in a lot of different vehicles, not just trucks, but different vehicles in general. You can get a naturally aspirated engine right here, which is the 3.6 liter V6, but you can also get a diesel available, and it's not a tiny little diesel, it's a 3-liter diesel with over 440 pound-feet of torque available. But for those of you that crave a manual transmission, a manual actually comes standard with the V6. You can get an 8-speed if you want, but a manual comes standard. So that's another thing that's going away. Jeep's hanging on to naturally aspirated engines, and they're hanging on to a manual transmission. Now another quick like is that when compared to the Wrangler, this rides better and it tows a lot more. So it's got a longer wheelbase. It makes it more comfortable to drive and to ride in terms of like soaking up bumps, spreading bumps out, and getting over different obstacles. Even off-road, it's going to get hung up a little more with the middle area of the truck being stretched out, but something to keep in mind. Now towing, we have a truck bed. Not only do we have the payload with that, but it can tow up to 4,000 pounds more than the regular Jeep Wrangler. So keep that in mind. If you actually do need to tow, the Gladiator is going to come in handy. So after a week with the Jeep Gladiator, there's obviously some pros and some cons like there is with any other vehicle, but overwhelmingly this is a really sweet ride. And if you want to see more details and a full review, look in the description below, because I got a full video on this thing with all the details and things you're probably looking for. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this Gladiator down below, what you like and don't like. Have a great day.